comrades, look alive. Tito, are you sleeping?
No, sir, but we've been at this operation for hours, and I don't think spending any more time on the floor plans is going to make this operation any more feasible.
Now listen up, comrades. I know our odds aren't great, but this is our one shot to show the Peruvian people who we are. For too long, their only options have been exploitation at the hands of Fujimori or violence at the hands of those Maoist bastards, the Shining Path. If we want real change in this country, we need to prove ourselves as the most sensible choice for the Peruvian people.
Pardon my saying so, Commandante, but isn't it a bit hypocritical to call ourselves non-violent when we're planning an operation with guns?
Now listen up, comrades. I don't enjoy repeating myself. As I said before, stop where you are and identify yourself.
My name is Salvador.
Who sent you? How did you find us?
Command in Lima told me I was supposed to come and meet up with your group. I was working in Lima in the student groups, and then Shining Path started murdering the community organizers, and I wanted to become involved, so they told me to be a part of the operation you guys are planning.
You'll be a great addition to the team. As we speak, we are planning an operation that will shock Peru's people into thinking more like yourself. You know what? I bet you're hungry. Rojas, take Salvador to get something to eat. Tito and I need to stay here and go over floor plans since he can't seem to pay attention today.
So what are you all planning? A march? A protest? A nationwide strike?
Now listen up, man. You might think of us as some lovey-dovey freedom fighters, but the truth is, Serpa's amping up our operations big time. We're planning to take over the house of the Japanese ambassador in December.
And by takeover, you mean with like guns and stuff? How many of us are there? Are we gonna have to kill people?
So far, there are 13 of us, 14 including you. But yes, we are planning to use force to take over the embassy, and we will hold hostage all of the people who will be in the building for a party. The goal is to get Fujimori to release 440 of the MRTA fighters currently in prison, and if this goes as planned, we won't have to kill anybody. That's always a possibility, but never our intention.
Listen, I used to go past those embassy houses all the time in Lima, and I just don't see how 14 of us could get past those security forces without any violence breaking out. I just don't understand why we would put ourselves and others in this kind of danger when we're trying to achieve peace. It doesn't make any sense.
I see where you're coming from. If it was up to me, I would stop branding the MRTA as a non-violent group, because the truth is then we would stop attracting saps like you. Sorry, amigo, it's true. I think the way Serpa sees it, we're going to have to commit a little bit of violence sometimes if we want the whole country to be more peaceful in the end. And if we do have to take out, our guns and commit violent acts, we make sure that we're targeting the people who have themselves committed heinous crimes against the country and the people. At the end of the day, when we do commit violent acts, they're to make the whole country more peaceful as a whole, and we don't do more than is necessary. Just sometimes we can't avoid it.
Okay, I guess I get that. Sometimes you have to use a little violence in order to achieve a greater good. That's totally rad, comrade.
Gorillas hate rhymes. Never say that again.
Yes, sir.
Alright, comrades, one more time. What's our plan?
We will take over the Japanese ambassador's house with as few casualties as possible.
We will demand the release of the 440 MRTA comrades currently in prison.
We will demand an end to the neoliberal economic policies of Fujimori and his imperialist allies.
We will not give in to the government's scare tactics, and through our perseverance, we will succeed.
You.
We will lead this country in a revolution and establish a socialist state for the people.
Patria or Muerte!
Patria or Muerte!
Everybody get down and keep your heads on the ground! My name is Nestor Serpa. You are now being held hostage by the Tupac Amaru Revolutionary Movement. You will be held until President Fujimori releases our 440 comrades currently in prison. We are not the Shining Path. We are not terrorists. You will not be killed or tortured unnecessarily. Wake up! If either of you guard dogs of the wealthy tries to escape, I will kill you both.
Why are you doing this?
As long as you do as we say, and President Fujimori releases our comrades, you can go home to your families.
That's not gonna happen. Fujimori doesn't negotiate with terrorists.
How do 14 terrorists manage to sneak past the guards and capture 600 hostages?
Sir, according to those first on the scene, they used an ambulance to get past the guards and then blew a hole in the wall behind the ambassador's house and went through there. Excuse me. Yes. Thank you. Mr. President, we've just received news that they're planning to release the female hostages. Should we release some of their comrades as a sign of goodwill?
Oh, thank God. My mother was one of those hostages, but I will never release those terrorists.
Come on, we're gonna go tell the journalists how well you're being treated.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ambassador AOK. We are being treated well by all the MRTA members, and we're in good condition. I would like to apologize to my fellow Japanese citizens for failing to protect my guests.
As you can see, the hostages are in good condition and we are abiding by the Geneva Conventions. Unlike the Shining Path, we are not terrorists. We are guerrillas. Our desire is to exchange these hostages for our comrades in prison. I have shown my willingness to negotiate by releasing all but 72 of the 600 hostages. It is now Fujimori's turn.
So what's our plan?
We are currently digging tunnels underneath the ambassador's house. We will send commandos up through there to blow holes in the floor and put people that way, while other commandos are coming through the front door. We are currently selecting the special forces who will make up this squad, but there will be 140 total.
Very well. And how long until we're ready?
It could be weeks or even months before the commandos are completely prepared.
Okay, let's do this.
Good afternoon. I'm Education Minister Domingo Palermo. I'll be negotiating today on behalf of President Fujimori. What demands do you have for us?
We've lowered our demands. We are willing to exchange all of our hostages for 55 of our comrades instead of the original 440 we requested.
All right then. Let's see what the president has to say about this proposal. Mr. President, they want 55 of their comrades in exchange for all of the hostages. Got it. The president said he's unwilling to release any prisoners.
Then I guess we're done here. Man, this is not what I expected at all.
I thought this was gonna last like 2 or 3 weeks max.
Saber supposed to be back in the jungle in no time, but I really don't think he knows what he's gotten us into.
I'm in charge here and you will follow my orders. We will stay here until our job is done and our comrades are free. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard about the offer that the government may make? They're discussing the possibility of safe passage to Cuba, and my Japanese government will pay a large amount for the freedom of the hostages.
What should we do? I say we take the money and go to Cuba. I think this is the best deal we're gonna get.
No, we're going to accomplish what we set out to do. We're going to exchange these hostages for the freedom of our brothers and sisters.
I agree with Tito. A prisoner exchange is the only way that this can end. And besides, do you really think that the government would go through with that deal? It seems suspicious to me. I'm afraid it's just a cover while they continue to try to infiltrate the ambassador's house.
Fine then, we're staying. What was that?
It was the military.
Okay, stay calm. Don't engage. Just put your hands up. If we don't use force, they can't either. Don't shoot! Remember the Geneva Conventions!
Operation Havin de Juntar has been a success.
We have freed the hostages and killed the terrorists. Sadly, this has come at the cost of the lives of 2 of our greatest soldiers, in addition to the Honorable Supreme Court Justice Carlos Guisti, who died from a heart attack on the way to the hospital. Those commandos died fighting against the evil of the Tupac Amaru revolutionary movement.